Hi everyone, it's Hannah. Today I'm going to be renovating part of the dollhouse into the backstage of Trixie's theater. I'm super excited about this project. To start things off, I wanted to film a quick scene for the video I'm currently working on. This stop motion should be up in a week or two, fingers crossed, and will include scenes in the finished theater. So I put a poll up on both YouTube and Instagram asking which apartment in the dollhouse should bite the dust for this project. I'm planning on rebuilding the apartment later, however it won't be in the dollhouse anymore. Similar to Lou's apartment, it still exists in their world, it just won't be set up all the time. It turns out Marie is not on the favorite list of most of you guys because she won. Even though I haven't filmed many videos in her apartment, I still want to keep it, even though it's a hot mess at the moment. Not only is it my favorite looking apartment out of all of them, I wasn't able to film in it very often because my tripod would basically lose the will to live every time I wanted to film up there. I got a new tripod recently, so I'm planning on filming a lot more in it. Also, did I mention how much I love how it looks? Anyway, because Nancy, Rebecca, and Millie are often the main roles in the videos, and the fact that we will be seeing a lot of Trixie and Chrissy at the theater, it is their apartment that will have to go. I'm super excited about this project because I feel like I've been just rehatching old ideas for my videos recently, and this will open me up to a whole new world of possibilities in the plot department. I can also put on plays, so if I wanted to tell an entirely different story that doesn't consist of the main characters, I can do it without it not making sense. As you can see, I am emptying the floor of its current furnishings with the help of my dog Tony and the Carol Burnett Show. Since I want to make sure the theater looks much different than Trixie and Chrissy's apartment to avoid confusing the spaces, I just took the slipcover off of the couch me and my mom made so I can still use the couch in the theater. I think the colors will really match what I'm going for. Side note, you may have seen me freak out about this on my Instagram story, but select episodes of The Carol Burnett Show are now available on Amazon Prime. The show has literally never been available for streaming, and even when they air the show on TV, it's chopped up and it's half of its original length. These are full episodes. If you have access to it, I highly recommend checking it out. Enough of the infomercial, off to the hardware store. Whenever making sets, I always get sample sizes of paint. They're $3 to $4 each, and I always have paint left over. Once I got home, I started painting, this time with the help of Baymax. Tony was banished from my room.
We are currently at the hot mess stage.
I used a brown for the rehearsal/backstage area of the theater, which I think will match nicely. I want the whole place to feel like it has been used for a really long time and show the non-sparkly side of show business. While at the hardware store, I also picked up one piece of peel and stick flooring. Since I couldn't remember the measurements of the space, I brought it home and figured out how many more I needed. And I also wanted to make sure I liked the flooring color. The next day, I followed my dad back to the hardware store and bought the rest. It ended up being just over $12 for 12 pieces, and OMG Karen, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I'm planning on eventually putting it on all the rest of the floors of the dollhouse. After putting all the flooring down, we decided to make a clothing rack for the dressing room. I used extra dowels from the tents I made for the outdoors video, hot glue, and some gray paint. Tony gained my trust once again and helped me with the painting. While doing so, we watched Sleeping Beauty. I was gonna leave the sound on for this little clip, but I didn't want to have a copyright strike. This was the current progress of the dressing room that we had that night. Also, there's a picture of Mike Nesmith dressed as a princess over the doll's face because I think it's a bit of a spoiler to know who it is. The next day, we started to work on the second room. I got inspired by this photo of the backstage of The Muppet Show to print up a brick wall pattern for one wall. This did end up using most of my printer ink, however, I'm very happy with the results. I also printed out many photos and posters for the dressing room, including Rosalind Russell, Ted Baxter from The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Ocean's 11, and a bunch of others. My goal at the time was to cover the whole wall in just a bunch of messy posters, almost as if they were just thrown up on top of each other or wherever there was room. However, the printer obviously did not like this idea. We also looked through my box of papers to see if there was anything we could add to the wall. However, many of the posters ended up being too big compared to the photos we printed out. While looking through, I found the scrapbook I used for the Lou's scrapbook stop motion. I was really tempted to pull papers from it and use some of them, however I decided I wanted to keep it the way it was. Fun fact, I actually filmed the book closing for the end of that stop motion, however I accidentally deleted the footage while editing, and we were on a trip so I couldn't refilm it. So the ending it has now wasn't the ending we had planned. Dun 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 dun! Here is the finished theater. Let's start off with the dressing room. I taped all the posters to the wall in a non-order order, folding some corners over and curling others to make them look like they had been there for a while. I left my window open that night, and the air ended up making them curl even more. There's a fake pearl bracelet as a necklace, gloves, lotion, and a hairbrush on the vanity. There's a box of more costume stuff underneath. I cut the corners off of the small pictures and taped them to the mirror to give the effect that they had been tucked between the mirror and the lights. The second photo is of the bookworm from Batman, played by Roddy McDowall. I've been seeing a lot of him on the Carol Burnett show recently, and I thought it would be a funny nod to both shows.
Inconceivable, but true.
We've been wanting some place to hang up the nice dresses and costumes, and this ended up being the perfect place. Because so many of them are fancy, the shiny materials on many of them look really nice with the light shining from the vanity. We placed a newspaper on the couch, and then have a poster from Rebecca's movie set, a sticker from Mary Ellen's Diner, and a paper that came from an I Love Lucy scrapbook. Random, I know. The rug is actually just a rag we cut into a circle. I think it really matches the chair to the vanity. Here is the rehearsal prop construction room. I know it looks a bit barren, but I wanted to have a lot of empty space so a lot of characters could be in it at the same time. The paint bucket is Our Generation, and the typewriter is American Girl. Putting the phone on top of the suitcase was inspired by Breakfast at Tiffany's, where Holly keeps her phone inside a suitcase. Both items are from Our Generation. We put a lot of props and things laying around to make it seem like it was almost part of a storage area. I found the wood outside in my dad's work stuff, and the saw is Our Generation as well. It was inspired by this photo I found while looking for ideas. It really reminded me of what I imagined these characters doing behind the scenes in the theater. My dad made the surfboard, and I haven't gotten a chance to paint it yet, so I thought it matched with all the construction stuff. And the flute is American Girl. We made this tiny little audition poster just to fill up some space on the walls, and I found this tiny frame that is a reference to Picture Picture from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I'm hoping to get some printer ink and fill up the walls a bit before filming, but I absolutely love how this turned out, and I can't wait to start telling stories in it. I really hope you all enjoyed this video, and comment below what your favorite play is. My personal favorite is Bye Bye Birdie. Thank you so much for watching!
Off! Okay, out. Out.
Curiosity killed the bat.
I do have a little bit of good news that might turn your frown upside down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my messy room with the records. I found this. Look at Bert.